Imperator Rome Dev Diary number 8. What is it about? It's about trade. It's about commerce as well. So let's dive right into it. What Johan says. Johan has a way of doing this very nicely. So I could just give you a short overview of what it is about. It's about trade goods. It's about trade routes. How you manage to start trade routes. What are the prerequisites of trade routes? What is the cost of trade routes? And what do trade routes bring for commerce that translates into income or into bonuses? So the trade in Imperator is about getting access to goods for your cities to make them better. That is the statement Johan says. And meanwhile earn money on trade happening. So that's the secondary thing. First make them better, then have the trade happening. Trade route is import of one trade goods from another province, either foreign or your own, where it is in surplus, to one of your provinces. So import, that's a term he uses very often, is the important thing. So you want to make the province better. You want an import. For example, if you import grain to a province, it will lead to better growth for that province. So you can always import any trade goods you have a surplus from your other provinces, but from foreign nations, you need to have negotiated trade access first. So that's a prerequisite for foreign nation trade, negotiated trade access, and you need probably good relations for that. If you fight a war against each other, the import will be cancelled. Now that can be a problem for you gameplay wise, because it costs you civic power. So the PowerPoint system resembling a bit the one of EU4, it will cost you. So you can go for the safe way and have trade routes among your own provinces only, but if you're a small state, chances are that there's something out there you want to get, and you can only get it from your neighbor or from someone else. And then it's a risk. And that risk can pay off or it cannot. So bigger empires would have, due to that trade system, a bigger advantage also. But there is more why you might be interested to import from foreign nations. Let's read on. A province can only export if that province provides a surplus, if the total surplus produces more than one of the trade goods. A city produces one trade goods, and for each additional 30 population, it produces an additional plus one trade goods. There's no limit to how many exports a province has, other than the amount of surplus goods it has. So, if you have a very populated province, it will export a lot of trade goods. Then you can always import a trade good if you already have a surplus of it, and that gives you a smaller additional bonus. So you can stack it, but it is like, not linearly stackable, but probably logarithmically stackable. So it gives a smaller additional bonus, probably the more surplus you import. Surplus in the capital province gives a special bonus on the country level, and surplus is clearly indicated in the UI. We'll look at that here. Each surplus in province supply limit plus 2.5% for the vegetables, for example, down here. Only the capital city in each province gets the benefit of stacked goods. The other provinces get counted as they have access to one of the trade goods. So you can only explode, so to say, the capital city. For example, if you import a lot of grain, then the capital city will grow a lot and the others will grow a bit, like they had access to one grain. Only the province stacking bonus can be applied multiple times, so you can import 20 grain if you so desire to keep up a huge population. Oh, okay. So only the province stacking bonus can be applied. So you can indeed import 20 grain for multiple growths, but if you have different trade goods imported, then the provinces will only have access to one of them. We'll see how that plays out. I'd have imagined it from the gameplay logic otherwise, but we'll see. Please remember that creating a new import route costs you civic power. As I've already said, it's a risk with a cost. As default, you can import one trade good to your capital province. So that seems like this is free, a free import. There are multiple ways to get more allowed import routes to your provinces. Oh, you have a maximum of allowed import routes. Larger nations get more import routes to their capitals. There are ideas that allow more import, and there are inventions that can either increase all provinces' trade goods or the capitals. Aha, okay, so the import is not infinite. It is capped probably by your empire population, or maybe, yeah, these ideas they are talking about. Inventions, ideas, and being a larger nation gives you more imports, trade routes. There's also economic policies for trade where you can forego your income from trade for having more trade routes, or the opposite. So you would trade your income for these bonuses like the supply limit in the case of the vegetables. Income from trade uses something we call commerce in the game. Each commerce level building in a city provides 20% more commerce to that city, and citizens will also provide a level of commerce. Trade income is based upon total amount of trade routes in and out in province multiplied by commerce. So we can see, do we have that here in the screenshot too? I cannot see it. No. So we don't have the trade income here. We have the trade route menu. And you can see here that there's just a couple of goods. There are, in the province of Syria Coele, there's grain, like that kind of paper, wood, pottery, maybe sheep, horses, and spices, maybe. And there's a surplus of 2 wood, and a surplus of 1 pottery, and a surplus of 1 grain, and a surplus of 1 sheep. So we have vegetables here. Oh, these are the vegetables. Okay. Well, the vegetables just give a supply limit of 10%. And they have no surplus, but each surplus would bring you 2.5% more. So if you stack these things, then indeed you have another linear progression that is quartered, if that is true. And oh yeah, we need to make this smaller. That's why I was odd here. So the list of trade goods include the following. That was over that thing. So we have grain, salt, iron, horses, wine, wood, ember. Nice. Stone, fish, spices, elephants, base metals, precious metals, steppe horses, livestock. Yeah, the steppe horses and the horses make a difference for your military units. Earthenware, dyes, furs, olives, leather, woad, marble, honey, incense, hemp, vegetables, gemstones, camels, glass, silk, dates, cloth, papyrus, and wild game. Oh, there's a lot. There's a lot of nice trade goods. And now I'm hungry because at least half of them are tasty. I think I still have some dates somewhere. Well, that said, thank you for watching and happy gaming to you. We'll see each other in one of the next Dev Diaries or on other videos on this strategy-oriented roleplay strategy channel. Have a great time until next time and happy gaming.